Alright, good morning everyone. One more second, let's just get the stream going and get signed into the chat. So, hope everybody's day was well. I am Darkpool Algo and welcome to the morning live stream. Today is Tuesday, December 21st, 2021, and Christmas is only a couple days away. So, got lots of things to cover today, and hopefully you see something new on my screen that you have not seen before. Maybe, just maybe, we have some new stuff to show you. Is it true? Could it be possible? Do we have a new release of FlowTrade? Yes, we do. Welcome. This is the new FlowTrade interface. I'm extremely excited about it. They put in a ton of work to get it to this point. Obviously, still a little beta testing, but it's way better than before. So with that being said, I'm going to say morning to the chat, and we will get started on some stuff. We've got lots of things to cover today because guess what? The market is going to be, hopefully it holds this gap up. We got a Wu-Tang reversal in the middle of the night from ES. NQ has made it's making its moves, man. We've got some good things to cover. So hopefully, morning Johnny, you like what you see here? You like that new interface? It's pretty slick. It's gonna take me a little bit to get used to the keyboard commands to be able to draw stuff. There's still some things in the works. Unfortunately, I'm not gonna necessarily be able to change my colors as much, right? And I might fumble with the navigation for the first couple weeks, so don't hold it against me, right? Trying to get it all here and all going, right? The important thing is, I know it's hard to see, but you can see the regular algorithm. If I need to go full screen with everything, I will, right? It might make it a little easier to see, and if you guys want, I'll walk through some of the features here in a second. I'm not sure what this is. This is new. Oh, snap. Oh, look at that. Boom, enter. I only want to see the last 3 days. That's sick. Yes. I haven't had a chance to completely go through and test every new feature. This is new. There's also a divergence feature. Let's see. Give me a stock that really likes to move. Let's look at let's look at our focus list. Let's look at Facebook, shall we? Facebook 1 minute chart should be able to see some divergences. That might only be during market hours, but it actually prints kind of like Ichimoku, right? It shows where the divergence is and when it plays out. I am gonna push this like none other. Trust me. So you will see. It's like Christmas already. Absolutely. You're going to be seeing a lot of tweets coming from me in Darkpool Charts. As a matter of fact, I'm just going to tag him real quick. Darkpool Charts. I am live streaming the release of beta FlowTrade charts. Let me see if I can push a couple more people here. tube.com/ and let's hashtag it with finance, shall we? Or FinTwit. Finance. And let's do that. And let's do FinTwit. And let's do options trading, and we'll get that out. Okay, so I'm gonna take a second real quick to tell what was that? Hold on. Get rid of that and get rid of that. So I want to tell Laz thank you. Thanks for hooking it up. I'll be reaching out to you later to get that taken care of. Remember yesterday I mentioned, hey, I'm looking for some Jordan ones for my son. He's got a birthday coming up and Christmas. Laz reached out to me, got it taken care of. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. My family appreciates it. You're gonna make a little boy happy. So we'll get that taken care of after the open, give it a little bit. But I just wanted to tell you thank you, and I really, really appreciate it. So, all right. So if you have requests, let me get them now. We've got a little bit of news to cover. There is some news coming out about Robinhood that I wanted to bring up. Everything that I swung last night, Nvidia, Google, Facebook, AMD. Yeah, we gapped up. So real quick look at futures. See if I can get this futures gapping up, which is what we want to see. We don't want to see it run away train though, because if it runs away, then we got to play that initial fade. And with it being Wednesday or Tuesday, but it's basically Wednesday, Ivy is going to kick in, Theta is going to kick in, so we have to be super careful. I read something on Twitter that came from one of the traders over at Simpler Trading. He basically likened this market to a cold shower. You want to get in and get out, and I couldn't have said it better. That's 100% accurate. So, with that being said, real quick look at futures. Looks like we're trying to bull flag. I'd like us to pull back a little bit to support, so we're not taking profit at the open, right? We're not selling off at the open. We're not panicking at the open that it's not going to stay this high, because retail investors, most of them will be like, oh, yesterday they took losses. This morning they're going to come up. They're going to be up a little bit, and they're going to panic, right? And they're going to sell out, and it's going to cause pretty significant pullback at the open. I don't think we're going to get a gap and go, but I think we'll get a pullback and maybe a little bit rally into most of the day. Hopefully they don't melt us up and they allow some of these squeezes to release. So super excited about that. Biden will be talking later today, so that's going to affect some things, and I'll be locking some profits at the open, like right at the open, and try to get back into some plays later. Beast numbers came through. I took some heat. Don't get me wrong. I took a little bit of heat, like 20 to 23% premium loss yesterday. Didn't break my 25% rules, which is good, because I'm actually going to be in these plays this morning instead of being like, dang, why did I sell, right? So with that being said, we're going to get an influx of people coming in. Dark pool charts just retweeted my announcement of looking at the new FlowTrade system. The people that are here, Johnny, Laz, Terry, and Win. Let's see who else comes. Charts comes in, doesn't she? I believe. Don't we have one more person that's usually here every morning? Y'all will get taken care of first, so please get them to me now, because I start at the top and I scroll down, and I don't want to miss y'all. So please let me know if you've got something you want to look at from an algorithm perspective. Okay, I'm gonna hop into the news, and then let me just get this back to 4 charts. And so we've got Facebook, SPY, Tesla, AMD. Let's look at Nvidia, Laz, or was that Johnny? This is gorgeous. I love this feature here. Just give me 3 days. I don't want to see 30 days worth of Tesla. Don't be laggy. Okay. Like the chart says, it's beta, so there may be some bugs, right? That's kind of why we're going through this. We want to work out some of the bugs. We tried to catch them all, but you know how bugs are. They have a tendency to really affect what's going on. Okay, sweet. I want the 15-minute chart, and you want Nvidia up instead of SPY. Oh, let's do Nvidia on Facebook. Come on, sucker. There we go. There's Nvidia. A lot quicker, a lot smoother. Oh, I need to turn on block trades. And then we only want to look at the last 4 days. I think 3 days is good. 4 days might be pretty good too. Let's see. Yeah, let's look at 4 days. I think 4 days is a pretty decent amount. It's not too many, and it's not too few. It's just right. It's the Goldilocks number. Right? All right, there we go. Yeah, that works. Sweet. I'm going to hop into the news, and then we will go over it, okay? You bought the dip on SPY? Hey, Terry. Yeah, also, For those of you that follow the traders and simpler trading, I know that be real careful with this. We'll go into that later. I'm going to hop into the news. Okay, Alibaba. Baba's been downgraded to neutral from overweight at one of the analysts, right? Cuts their target to 140 from 185. Remains cautious on the improvement of its business segment in the near term and adds to its key sustained stock outperformance, right? That's Baba. No, Tesla. And then we tab through. I love tabs. Oh, no. We've also got the drawing tools are pretty slick in that I wish that's not, so that's not persistent, which kind of sucks. All right, I'm gonna have to note that because it would be nice if everything stayed persistent across the board. All right, this is Baba. Baba's just trading with the algorithm right now on the 15-minute chart. Lots of dark pool levels here. The algo should bounce here and hopefully look to gap fill. 118.50 is a regular block trade, and yeah, I'll just leave it at that. So Baba was downgraded, but we got a nice little reversal pattern happening here. Baba might continue to move. Micron, another one. Micron had earnings yesterday. They beat on earnings per share. Revenue 0.2 billion above, sees Q2 estimates at 1.85 to 2 versus 186. Sees Q2 revenue at 7.5 billion plus 200 million above estimates, and sees 24-21 industry DRAM bit demand growing in the low 20% range. Micron, we had that bullish divergence going into yesterday. You know, we don't play the earnings, but with that being said, you could have played this yesterday, but you know, we don't play earnings. We stay safe, right? Bounce off of support, coming right up. So I don't know what it's gapped up to this morning. I think it's probably up pretty good off of those earnings, right? It is above our supply zones, right? If it takes out this previous high back here at 89, so above 89, it can rip. Micron should have a pretty decent move today. It's a 4-hour chart. We want to look at this guy. Oh, look at that Google move. Whoo, come on, Google. Run to 1,000. Or to 4,000. Give me $100,000. I've got one. I got the 29.50 call. Yeah, I'm looking. Just go deep in the money. You can do it, right? You could get your boy a Christmas gift, that Lambo. Morning. All right, so this is Micron. Did gap up of earnings. If we can get out of the daily top, so above 91, we got the monthly top there. Micron's about $4 a day. It's got to get through this cloud. So the move from 90 to 92, it's in trifecta, so it's got a lot of volume, a lot of momentum, a lot of conviction going into it. Maybe some squeezes are going to release. As far as the algorithm's concerned, like we mentioned earlier, we have that bullish divergence that's occurred here, so look for that divergence to play out. Currently, Micron's at 82, right? So we've got data coming in that says it's at 82.07. FlowTrade or Trading Views coming in saying it's at what, 80? So it closed at 82. It's at 89 now, right? So it's way up here at the top, right? So it blew through all of its gaps. It's up at the previous highs. So look for profit taking at the open. If you're going to get into calls, look into getting to next week so you don't get IV crushed, okay? AMD. What about AMD's down here on the bottom right? The algo on AMD. Oh, that's the 1 minute. Let's go to the 15. All right, so AMD algo is a little bearishly diverged, but it could be reversing here at this point. So all this previous divergence has played out. The algo was trading with price action. We pulled up. There's a white line level at 135. I think we gapped up over that. I'm not sure what AMD is trading at right now, but we'll look to take out these previous highs on the way up. Okay. AMD, I got a 150 target. Well, 147 AMD target. All right, moving on. Micron earnings. There we go. GlaxoSmithKline said that its drug, which reduces the risk of HIV acquisition, has been approved by this is important, by the FDA. So GSK, for those of you that like to play healthcare, GSK, they got that approval. Nice little cup and handle forming, smacked into the monthly top, pulled back to the daily cloud. That's going to be support. I mean, it's in a trading zone right here, but just look for resistance on the way back up if the weekly, daily, if this support level holds. So 43 holds, maybe a move back up to 44 based on that FDA news. Sanofi, right? They're going to acquire a privately held pharmaceutical for an upfront payment of about $1 billion. And then it will also pay up to $225 million based on its future developments. So look at this little move here. Cup and handle forming, coming up to the top of the 4-hour cloud. For me, if it gets above 49.60, 49.70, then I would look to go long. It's coming up into daily top resistance, weekly mid, monthly mid. So this little move right here, it might be a little tight. It might look something like this, right? But once it gets up above 50, I think it can rip. Okay, pretty decent move. AQST, which is another biotech play, or another what do you call it? Pharmaceutical healthcare play. They're down 30%, saying it was formed by the FDA that it's not ready to make a decision whether or not to approve its anti-seizure medication by the target date of tomorrow, or the 23rd. So that's a massive drop. I mean, it's a penny stock, but you go from 6 to 4 and you can't get back up into these daily clouds. You're in difecta mode. And what does difecta mode mean? It means simply this. You're going to bounce off of this 465, 480 level and come back down to the weekly bottom at 375. If you break 339, you're probably going to go back down to a penny stock. Okay, I know that a lot of people have played this off of the momentum. It's been pretty decent in the past. Just I would look to not bag hold on that sucker. ALDX, Aldera Therapeutics, announces its top-line results from 3 tranquility trials in dry eye disease, saying that the primary endpoint was ocular redness was not met. That's not good for that penny stock. 730 down to 450. Again, this monthly cloud breaks, right? So the monthly cloud's from 458 down to 325. It's in difecta mode. It's probably going to be down to a penny. Okay, this is not a dead cat. Well, maybe a dead cat bounce here on this one. You've definitely got path of least resistance, maybe to the downside. If you're in ALDX, look to secure your bag, because they missed on their news. Okay, Acadia Pharmaceuticals resubmitted its SNDA Q1's, plans to submit another one for its drug, narrowing the proposed indication of dementia-related psychosis in Alzheimer's disease psychosis. So what did they get? They got a nice little pop yesterday, all the way up to 34. Market conditions brought them back down inside of the 4-hour Keltner channel, right? If they break previous lows, right, they can come down to 24.83 before they see that bounce. Stock moves $1.50 a day. It ran from 27 to 34. It ran $7 yesterday. Obviously, some shareholders are going to take some profit here, and currently pointing down. I'm not super impressed with this stock, simply because Radiant Fire's pointed down, MACD's pointed down, right? Negative histogram on our squeezes. We don't really have anything to help us out. Like I said, if it takes out some of its previous lows, you can expect it to come back down to these daily bottoms. Okay, with that being said, we're going to hop into the rest of these and get through these as quickly as possible so we can get over to the FlowTrade interface. Okay, renewable stocks such as Run, all the ones that we like to play. Okay, this is going to be the move for today. Expect sector rotation into this ahead of Biden's speech today. Renewable stocks: Run, ENPH, Sedge, and EV makers FSR, Tesla, and RIVN rise in pre-market trading, set to rebound from previous session lows amid hopes that talks will revive Biden's economic package. Cup and handle forming on Sunrun, right? I've played this before. It moves pretty decent. If it can take out this high and expect an immediate smacking, it's going to smack right into that weekly cloud. Still make it up to the 4-hour mid, which is previous highs at about 34, but above that, it's got resistance at 35, 36.50, on its way up to the 4-hour top at 37. So it's going to fight its way through this cloud, when it might just be easier for it to quick pop, right, to previous highs, fade back down, gain some more support, right? Our Radiant Fire has been climbing. The play was back here at 31. So expect profit taking, expect pullback on the Radiant Fire. MACD is neutral but decreasing, right? Our MACD is pointed, the 2-minute, 5-minute, 15 is pointed down. Our primaries, which is a 4-hour, is up, and daily and weekly are down. So it's really heavy on the top end, really heavy on the Celts top end, kind of medium. So chop, chop, chop. Okay, that's run. ENPH was another one we like to play. Right, it's looking like it's can form a nice little cup and handle into the bottom of the Keltner 4-hour Keltner channel at 184. Look for a potential pullback, right? Make a cup and handle for a move up to test previous highs at 192, right? I would look to play the 190 call or potentially the 195 call, taking profits early. Like I mentioned, get in and get out. Our primary MACDs are pointed down, secondaries are up. So we're playing momentum right now. So we're getting into oversold territory. This longer term squeeze right here finally fired, right? So you can expect maybe, let's see, we're in the 5-minute chart. Let's look at the 15. That's the 10. Let's look at the 15. There we go. All right, so this high compression, mid compression, low compression squeeze fired off. And you can expect about another 8 to 10 periods. And we're already 2 into it. So another 6 15-minute periods puts us, let's call it 8 15-minute periods is, what is that? Another 2 hours of ripping of this off of this slingshot squeeze releasing. So like I said, test 4-hour and daily mid at 193, right? Think you might get a quick pop to 190. Let me illustrate that what that might look like. Preferably we might get one of these right up to here, and then finally there. That's the move we're looking for. This thing moves about $17 a day, so it can definitely reach that. That's ENPH, SEDG. Another one. This one looks a little overvalued. It's below the 4-hour and the daily mid. It might run into resistance at that 270 level and continue to sell off. $22 ATR or $23 ATR. Definitely MACD slingshot squeeze, or slingshot, getting ready to get a golden crossover, right? Radiant fires are firing off. High compression, mid compression, slingshot squeeze is released. So we're bullish up into possibly 272, 274. It's going to have to make a decision there. Overall, it's pretty much selling off. So I don't expect it to break through the cloud like it did here and continue up. There's no, I mean, this is hope news, right? This is buy the rumor type of deal. And then FSR, which is Fisker. This is, if a gamma squeeze is going to happen, it may happen in this stock. So I'm going to keep an eye on it. Nice double bottom off of the 4-hour bottom and the daily mid. There's that daily bottom. My bad. Hold on. Yeah, daily bottom. So massive supports, right? This is a good illustration of how stocks move within the Celts. 4-hour top to 4-hour bottom to the mid. It didn't break through the mid. It's coming back down to the bottom. If it can break out of this bull flag at the mid, I think it hits 4-hour top at like 1850, right? For this stock from 17 to 1850, it's a $1.50 move. Buy yourself some commons. You'll own it. Make some money. If you're interested in how I play these, let me show you. What I do is I'll buy 100 shares here at 17. When it hits 1820 or when it hits my target level, I will sell off whatever the profit, everything except for the profit, and leave the profit in the shares. That way they're free shares, and I have them for life, and you can't take them away, right? Just make sure you adjust for your margin, so you may have to sell an extra couple to account for that. The other way you can do it is you can hold on to them and take some heat, maybe sell some calls against it. That's one way to do it. The other way to do it is you could sell a put. You could sell a 17 or 1650 put here, right? If you want to buy it at 16.50 or 16, sell the 16 put and try to make some income trades off of that. So, all right. Not sure what happened, but it looks like some people didn't want to join the chat after all. Okay. And then, Tesla and Rivian. So that's the Tesseract. They're saying Tesla's rallying off of that. Tesla ran into the daily Keltner channel cloud. It's in the monthly. So this is all resistance, right? So for Tesla above 916.50 on Tesla. Potentially safer moves above 920. Let's look at Tesseract on this one. Yeah, there we go. So lots of overhead resistance. This is a 2-hour chart. It's at VWAP right now. It's got the 21, the 34, another VWAP, and the 50 to get above, right? So, I mean, Tesla can rally, right up into this 2-hour cloud and then make a decision if it continues to fade off, right? Tesla's a downtrending stock. I'm not saying to short it by any means, but look at what it's doing, right? It's got some pretty significant overhead resistance, right? It's got moving averages to get through. It's got a volume shelf right here that runs from 930 to 940, right? It's in, what is it trading at? So that volume shelf from 930 to 940 is basically a new supply zone. It's off of this one here. Right, yeah. Right? There's a volume shelf there, so it should rally to that volume shelf and then hopefully pop through it and continue to make its move up to the top, right? We want to see Tesla rally again because there's a lot of people invested in Tesla. All right, moving on. Oh, and then Rivian. I don't know if does anybody here play Rivian? I thought I saw something. Rivian. Nope. Rivian. Yay, it broke through all of that. Remember I said it should continue to do the downside if it breaks this, and it can just burn. Burn, baby, burn. So rally to this blue line, continue to move down. It's got a lot of resistance to get through to fight its way back up. I don't know if it's got the, like, it's super overvalued. If we would have taken this downside play from 98 to 91, well, all the way down to 88, $10 move to the downside. Our squeeze is getting ready to slingshot through, but we do have this overhead resistance. This is VWAP at 95.50. Above that, you've got POC at 97.50. See that volume shelf right there? We may see a quick pop and then decision. So play the upside and look for the downside, okay? Morning. Twitter sent you here? Sweet. We've gone through most of the news. I've got a few things left, and then we're going to get into some plays. This is the FlowTrade, Smart Money, Dark Pool, and Block Trade algorithm software. Typically, I will do a walkthrough on it, but if you have any interest, if you have any stocks that we don't cover, put them in the chat so I can get to them, okay? Right now we're going through the news, and we're going to look at the overall market conditions, and then we'll take requests, and then we're going to look at some of our bread and butter stocks with beast numbers. I know that Tesla was an interest to you. There's that 6 o'clock bell. We're going to start getting a lot of volume coming in. Let me grab the Tesla numbers for you. Excuse me. Okay, let's see. Nike had earnings. Calvera Growers. The only reason I left this up was because we had talked about supply chain issues for food last week. They're one of the growers that came in with a loss, a pretty big, significant loss on earnings. Let me show you what they look like. This is the stock ticker CVGW. Right. They took a pretty significant loss on earnings and estimates saying that their fresh segment revenue increased 26% year over year, but their other food segments revenue increased 7 to 6%. They're saying that demand for products is strong, but industry-wide inflationary pressure on raw materials is causing issues, along with freight and labor costs being uncertain. So they can't really provide guidance. They can't say, hey, we know what's going to happen in the future. We know our supply chain issues are going to be worked out. So they basically took a loss and they said, we don't know what's going to happen. Pretty significant move, right? They were trading at 40. They kissed all the way down to 36, little $4 loss on a stock that moves $1.70 a day. That's like a 300% loss, right? They came down, they kissed the weekly cloud. I see them moving back down to even 3450 level, below 3450. They're in difecta mode. What that means is that there's nothing really that's gonna, they're dying off. So if you want to play something to the downside, potentially look at them. And finally, Nike had earnings yesterday. They had a nice little beat coming into it, which is what they needed. They were in difecta mode. They were below all of the Keltner channels. They ran back up made it above the weekly or the daily mid into the weekly. What is that, the weekly top or weekly mid? So above the daily cloud, above the 4-hour, they're consolidating right at the 4-hour mid, weekly mid, inside the monthly bottom. Okay, so what we want to see is this bull flag break to the upside to retest the 4-hour top at 166. A little strength and momentum to get them up through the monthly top, daily mid. So the target's 167 on Nike, right? That's this. Let me just draw the level. We want to see Nike up here, right? For them to do that, they're going to have to break out this bull flag and fight their way through it. At this point, they can either consolidate or they can try to make a push to previous highs at the 170, 171 level. I know it's kind of hard for y'all to see that, so let me just get zoomed in here, shall we? Right, lots of overhead resistance, nice little bull flag forming. They beat on their their earnings per share. Revenues rose 1%, up $0.10 billion over estimates. Digital sales increased 12% over its 11% estimate. Their Q2 gross margin increased by 280 base points. Oh, come on, SPY. Just pull back a little bit, but don't die off. I gotta get into the futures real quick. I want to show you what's going on since that 6 o'clock open happened, basically, right? A lot of traders don't let you trade up to an hour and a half before. So here comes all the volume and profit taking on like Thinkorswim, or the other brokers that just have normal trading hours. This is okay. It's all right to come back down, right? Let's do a little bit of a retrace, right? This is healthy. We want to see this, we want to see some profit taking at the open or before the open. We've got the 50% retracement at 45.93 is a previous high. That sets us up for success going into the day. So as long as we don't fall off a cliff and take out these previous lows, I think, basically give away all of our gains. I would prefer a pullback to about 45.96 on the ES, and then we chop to the open. A little bit of pop in gold, crude's rising, bonds. This is good. This is good for the overall market. This is the 10-year. It falling off makes it is pretty decent, right? So we'll just keep an eye on things. This, I think, is going to be profit taking that we're experiencing right now. We may see a little bit more movement all the way back, like maybe even a 50% retrace would be okay, because that sets us up for continued growth throughout the day. A little wondering what's going on here with gold. Gold got a quick wick killer. It just basically took out everybody's stops. Potential move to the larger move to the downside. Crude is hopefully forming a little head and shoulders. All right, so that was, let's see. So you have a play on Nike. We have some earnings after the bell today. Camp, Air, and Pick before the open. Nothing that we would really play. RAD, which is, I think, Rite Aid. Rite Aid had earnings. Obviously, it looks like they had some pretty decent news come out. Just range bound. They just bounded themselves from 1250 to 1350. Chop all day. Okay, as far as events calendar for today, we've got weekly sales coming in, or they already happened. We've got the current account for Q3, and I believe that's it. Okay, I'm going to read the rest of the news, and then we'll get into the plays. Okay, so listen. In Asian markets, the Nikkei index jumped 2%. Yay, bae! Yay! The Shanghai index up 0.88, and Hang Seng climbed 1%. So Asian markets are up. European markets are up slightly. So that will typically be indicative of us being able to rally throughout the day. So if the world is up, people are calming down a little bit. Investors are, interested in seeing what's going to happen in the U.S. market. Like I said, we've got some key levels of support here. Pre-market, if we can maintain those, like a pullback is going to be pretty healthy, right? Come on, get to the bottom of the dang chart, yo. There we go. Right, previous high at 50%. If I were to throw a fib up here on ES or on the NQ, I bet you it's going to show the same thing. 50% retracement. Well, for the ES at 618 would be decent, right? Just retrace to previous highs. It's okay. Just slowly bring it down, and then we can look to regain all of those losses, or regain the. Come on, sucker. Thank you. Regain that throughout today in an active market. So volume is going to be important over today and tomorrow. I'm really going to be super cautious of any plays after today. People taking vacation early. This happened last year. There's just no volume in the market. Everything was choppy. So like they said, treat this market like a cold shower. Jump in and jump out, right? So we'll keep an eye on those for these fib levels to hold, and we'll get into some plays. As far as the rest of the news goes, they're seeing an all-out rebound for risk assets as the global market jumps along with rebounds in oil prices. Crypto is also up, with Bitcoin over 3%, approaching the $49,000 level after dipping below $45,000 yesterday. The bounce in U.S. futures follows the worst three-day performance since September for the S&P as investors cope with ongoing uncertainty over the impact of the Omicron surge and lingering interest rate concerns, as well as light volumes ahead of this holiday. Like I mentioned, volume is important. If there's no volume, then there's nothing to hold the stock up, and it'll just come down. And they're in a televised address later this morning. What's up, Killa? In a televised address later this morning, Biden's going to come out and outline his plans of mobilizing military medical personnel to support hospitals around the country. The opening of several federally run testing sites, and the purchase of 500 million testing units kits. I wonder where he's buying those from. Does anybody know? Is it going to be Moderna, Pfizer, Sava? And do we know where he's buying those 500 million? Because that would be interesting. Wouldn't it be fun to figure out where he's buying those from and go ahead and buy the stock ahead of that? Right? I think it would be. I think it's a smart idea. All right. So let me see. Okay. All right. So what we're looking at in front of you is the Smart Money Dark Pool and Block Trade algorithm software. It is provided by those traders over at FlowTrade. This is the new interface. It is in beta. We have access to it. We're going to use it this morning for the stream. What we want to look for is Q and just getting all this set up. What we want to look for is divergence. Divergence occurs when I'm going to go ahead and go full screen on Nvidia for a minute, just so that we can see what's going on. There we go, that works. And I'll get zoomed in. I'm still on the 15-minute. Well, I don't want to zoom in too much. Right, it's already an improved UI, way improved. I like the fact that I can pick candles instead of bars, right? And it switches up here to let you know what you've chosen. Some people like the bar look. I like the candles. We can select our block trades look back period. So I'm looking at the last 4. All right, now bear with me as I try to learn all of the the shortcuts for marking stuff up. Okay. All right. So I believe I have it here. So it looks like we came up, had a nice little bottom right there. The Algo bounced right off it. So far, the Algo is just trading with price action, right? That's what we like to see. Dang it. I'm going to forget them. I'm going to make a little note of what does what. So we have fib, line, semi, and infinite. FLRX. Okay. As you can see, the Algo has pretty much been trading with price action the whole time, right? In a little bit of a downwards direction. We have some regular block trades and dark pool levels. We've got a dark pool level right here at we can't really see. Yeah. All right, from what I understand, I can't really change the colors of the lines yet. And do I just stay in drawing mode? Yeah, I don't think there's a way for me to stay in drawing mode yet. So I'll see if I can get that bug reported. So let's see what's going on. So we pull back, dark pool level rally, pullbacks, double bottom, kind of fell through it yesterday, so I'm look for a little bit of profit taking. I don't like this finger candle, right over, not super thrilled about that, but we've got dark pool levels ranging at 274.17. That should be support, right? That's this one here. Hold on, what do I see here? Oh, that's nice. I can just hover over it and show you where the the block trade came in. 274.17 interacted with this low here, right? We rallied up off of it. We came back down. We broke through it, which means that a lot of these levels are invalidated. We rallied up. We're using it as support. We hit this next level at 278. Ran into dark pool resistance there. So click to select the object. Oh, I can move it around. Okay, but can I stay in drawing mode? Maybe not. Okay, so basically what's going to happen is we're going to rally up. We've got a dark pool level at 280 on Nvidia. It looks as though every time we went through it, we've used it as support in the past, right? Support broke. We came back, we back tested it. Nope, there's no other support there, and we fell off into regular block trade levels at 273. We're rebounding our way up. If we can get, we've got a 278 block, a 279.87 block, and finally this 280, or yeah, 280 block. If we can get up above that, I think we can continue on to the upside. I may have to start using screenshots. I'm not sure if I'm, all right. So that is Nvidia. Okay. Let's get those requests in, and I'm going to start at the top. All right, so Johnny, that was Nvidia. As far as targets for Nvidia go, come on, I don't want to. Like I said, if we take out some of these previous highs so above 280, I think we hit 285 pretty quickly, and even possibly up to 290. Do we hit 300? I mean, it's got legs. It can do it. What's it trading at this morning? All right, so Nvidia is currently trading at the 4-hour mid. It's got the weekly top at 290. If it can get up into this weekly top, I think it's a pretty easy move up to 300, right? Pretty overextended here, so maybe we just get a super rally, right? I like this chart better. Yeah, y'all don't know what you're looking at here yet, but it's going to be my new favorite. It's going to be my new go-to. I can promise you that. I'm going to start using this sucker every day, every single day. All right. Looks like 285 is the point, above 285, and I think we get we get a pretty decent move coming in, right? That's what I like to see. Stack positive moving averages, 821.34. Where's my 50 and my 200? Ah, dang it, I don't have them. I can build a multi-chart with this sucker and it's going to be gorgeous. So look for some profit taking down to probably about 280. Let's look at 284, right? For support, if 284 breaks, 282, all the way down to about 281.67, I'm willing to hold as a pullback. If that breaks, I might have to just be super cautious. We've got moved back down to 280. Like we moved. So even if you bought at the high yesterday at 280, 281, that's a $5 move. Definitely look to secure some profits on Nvidia if you're in it. You can always get back in it, right? The strikes I'm going to be looking at are going into today. Let me make sure I've got the most current numbers up. So I'm going to be straight with you. I'm not going to provide beats numbers to you every single day. I know you want me to, but I'm not going to. I can give you a 10% discount. You know, they're willing to give you guys a 10% discount. Head over to predictedtrades.com. Use the code DARKPOOL on checkout for 10% off, right? Pick the tickers you're interested in. As a community, maybe we can all pick a ticker and help each other out, like not giving away trades. Don't do that, please. Don't give away anything, but you can make the suggestions like, oh, I'm seeing a lot of volume coming in at like the 290 strike, I'm going to be watching that, right? I think that's fair, but don't cheat the system, please, right? I think y'all are decent, and I believe everybody in this group would just take care of each other, but not cheat the system, right? Does that make sense? I'm not trying to be rude or offensive. I'm just saying they put in a lot of work on this, just like with FlowTrade, right? They put in a ton of work into this, and you know, I went and I asked for permission to show this morning. I was like, hey, can I show it? And they said, yeah. So same deal. Okay, y'all are good people. I know what's up, but I just want to make sure that it's noted that I do not support sharing data. Okay. Nvidia, AMD. Hold on a second. Terry, what are you watching? Tesla? Oh, Nvidia number. Sorry, my bad. Those Nvidia 270s look juicy. Oh wait, my bad. The 270s yesterday looked juicy. If you'd have bought this dip here, you know, you'd be like, I'm rich. Hold on. We're at what, 285 now? $290 strikes and the 300 strikes around. If you get them for anywhere from $1.50 to $2, I think that's a pretty decent option for the Nvidia 290s or 300s. I got to figure out a way to get a watch list created with those. All right, just remind me. I'll get that here in a little bit. All right, moving on. The Tesla. So with Tesla, right? I'm looking. Oh, I guess I should explain some things first. Okay, so what you see in front of you is the white bars are price action. The purple line is it's the normal algorithm line, right? There's the dark pool line, and then there's both, right? I like to use the regular algorithm because I believe it's a little bit more effective. But if you can see, dark pool bullish divergence, both regular block trades and dark pool block trades, bullish divergence on the algorithm, and then the normal algo is bullishly diverged. Tesla has formed a little bit of a wedge. We're looking for that wedge breakout off of a double bottom. Let's see, I gotta figure out a good way to do this. Right? look at this, a little bit of a wedge there. Right, we're looking to break out of that wedge. The algo is currently uptrending, right? And we want to break. See, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this. You know, we want Tesla to break this overhead resistance we're coming into, right? You see that? So the move is a break above overhead resistance, right? So break out of the wedge, rally up to previous lows, which are here, right? And fill that gap that goes up to here. Gap fill. The algo is doing a pretty good job of being diverged as far as our block trades are concerned. We've got a regular block trade at 910 that we have to get up and over. I don't even know what Tesla's is. Tesla trading at like 990 right now. All right, so Tesla's got a regular block trade at 910. It's got to get over, right? It looks like it got over it. It's currently basing on that regular block trade at this level here. Okay. Like I already mentioned, there's a volume shelf from 930 to 940 on Tesla. That puts us up at these dark pool levels. We've got dark pool levels that run from 933 up to about 935, right? So 1, 2, 3. And then we've also got dark pool levels up at 950. So this is the move I'm looking for on Tesla. Sorry, I have to do it this way because it's the only way I can really draw my freeform. Right, we want up, down, up, down, up. That's the move on Tesla we want to see. Break out of the wedge above, right? It's currently trading right here. So back test that, rally up above this volume shelf, that 930, 940 volume shelf, and finally attack the 950 target. Okay. Numbers on Tesla to, you know, strikes that I'm going to be looking at. Obviously the 1000 calls for about anywhere from $2 to $3. The 950 calls, right? If you can get into those for $6 or less, I think you'd be doing a good job. And then the 1000 strikes, if you can get into those for under 4, I think that's a pretty good deal, right? All right, so that's the move on Tesla, the Tesseract. All right, Nvidia, Tesla, AMD. Now let's check out AMD real quick. I promise you, Lyles, I'll get to yours. All right, so AMD on the 15-minute chart. Nice little pop yesterday, pulling back, trading with the algorithm currently. Right, the algo, it looks like it's trying to base there. It does have, it is downtrending, right? Come on. Right? So the algo is really trying to wedge breakout, right? That's what we'd like to see happen, is that wedge breakout. Price action is currently uptrending, right? And we want price action to do a little bit of a wedge breakout here, right? We've got a zone there that we need to basically, if we can trade out of this zone that I just drew, right? We can trade out of this zone. So basically up to 139, then I think we can get super woody on the way back up. As far as block trades go, I mean, there's a ton. And if you were, right, we're currently at regular and dark pool support. We've got dark pools at 137.75 and 138.10. That's our upside target. We've got a regular block trade. So this would be, in the old system, this would be a white line. Oh, what are we doing here? In the old system, this would be a white line level. Give me 1 second. Let me get this figured out. Promise you with time, I'll be able to get this a little bit more streamlined. Okay, so we have a white line level here on. Okay, I think that works. I think that'll work. White line at 136, right? We have regular block trades all the way up here at 138. Like I said, if we can break out of that wedge, we can use the 138 target. Be aware that there's another little zone right there. So we got a supply zone above 138 on Nvidia. Okay. As far as, or on AMD, my bad. That's AMD. Rally, pullback, held the 4-hour mid. We're currently trading at 139. 140 to 144 is the weekly cloud. So 140 to 144. So from this level to basically here, right? Weekly cloud. So we get it. We're trading here. We'd like to get back up in here. If for some reason AMD can take out, right? Take out those previous highs over here at 146. So above 146, there's our next. Come on. Above 146, our next zone is this one here, right? 152. So we'd like to trade up in here. All right, that was AMD. Let me grab. All right, so just real quick, I wanted to check back in on the futures. So you can see we retraced right to that 618 extension, which is good. Now, if we can chop and hold that for the next hour, I think we might get a pretty significant move today. I think we might get that little pre-rally. Okay. Let that finish getting loaded up. Come on. Where's my fibs? Thank you. Right? Retrace, even a possible little bit of a pullback to the 50%. I wouldn't mind, like a 50% retracement is good off of this move. I think that's pretty bullish for what we're looking to do today. Okay, I'm just going to take a screenshot of this. Can I do a screenshot? Oh yeah. Looking good. And one second. Looks like with 618 held, possibly, like I'm even willing to bring it back to the 50% retracement. Okay, moving on. Sorry. AMD numbers. As far as AMD is concerned, like I said, I want to get up to the 150. I like that 150 strike. I think it's a pretty good psychological level. Lots of volume at the 140 level. All right. Those yesterday were going for dirt cheap, under $1. For today, 145s. Let's look at next week's. So next week's 145s for anything under like 50 cents would be good. That's a pretty decent move. Or for this week's 145s. Those numbers, I don't think those numbers are accurate. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on 1 second. I'm still getting the numbers. All right. So, nice little move on the AMD, right? All the way up to what, 140? Like I said, we need to get back up in these previous highs. Let's go, AMD. You can do it, right? Get up to 150, 160. Let's go. AMD, I've noticed lately that AMD moves the market, right? If AMD is rallying, then the NQ is rallying. I don't know what the weight is. Hold on, I do, actually. Interesting. Is AMD not part of the Qs? No, for real though. Where's AMD? Is it in? Hold on. What is the ES? SP, it would be SPY, wouldn't it? Don't you hate ads? All right, 1 second. Whoa, is that true though? AMD is not part of the SPY? Is it part of QQQ? What happened with my ad blocker? Why isn't it working anymore? That's irritating. Whoa. Hold on. Sorry about that. I just heard a big bang. I had to go clean something up. So I apologize. It happens though. All right, so going back, looking at the futures real quick. We'll get those changed over. And then, can you guys hear me? Check, 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 check. Yo, check, check, check. AMD is what SPY? I mean, I'm sure it is, but is it one of the top holdings is what I'm looking for. So these are the top. Top 15? Yeah, I should have just read it right there. Yeah, it's the top 15 holdings. So, all right, yeah, we'll just keep it out. It's part of the NASDAQ. All right. AMD, what else did I miss? Nike. What's wrong with the water I got you?
I don't drink this, honey.
Oh, all right.
Huh?
I said okay.
Gross.
Okay, so just to be clear, the discount is for the beast numbers, right? And that's here at this company. I just don't want there to be a confusion, right? This is the predictive trades model. It shows you specific entries and exits for options trades. Okay. They come up with your Gorilla Beast numbers. You get access to these numbers, and if you buy the trade plan service, it'll let you know when to take entries and when to take exits. Okay, this is not the FlowTrade algorithm. Just want to make sure that you guys are clear on that. Okay. I know that I don't know of a better way to describe it, but basically it tells you, hey, when X whatever ticker you've selected for your package, when Google hits $1.65, between $1.65 and $2.10, that's the optimal entry price for that options contract. If you get in there, here's your specific target levels for exits. Okay, it's the most accurate system I've seen. Okay, if you're still interested, L Carter, here's the link and there's the code. Okay, this is FlowTrade. If you're interested in FlowTrade, I'll give you a 7-day free trial if you want to go check it out here. Okay. Okay, there's the two links that are important. All right, getting back into the plays. I'm sorry I got sidetracked. You want to check out, hold on, Laz, what do you want to look at? I did AMD, I did Nvidia. Johnny, you want to look at Nike? Well, Nike had earnings, remember? So the Nike data may be a little skewed, especially since going into earnings, all the previous divergence had played out, and the algo was pulling price action up with it. Massive little gap here on Nike from, what is this? Can't read that. 148. Can I change my colors? All right, so Nike needed to get above 158 to go test these levels here, right? Basically, to trade that zone. going into yesterday, the algorithm, right? The algorithm was forming a nice little wedge. It broke through that and it's continued to move to the upside. Nike, nice earnings, right? I already predicted this out. I'm going to leave that there for 1 second while I go turn off this alarm. Dude, seriously, come on. Jeez, all the issues this morning. Dang it. All right. But Nike was coming into a high compression squeeze on the 15-minute chart. When that releases, it should explode. Right. Nike little chop fest. Big rally up. So earnings pop right back down into support, trying to fight its way back up. That's MKR. I was like, what the hell? Doesn't look like Nike. There we go. I rallied right up into our kelts, right? Ran into the top of them. We want to see it break out of this zone here and then go up and play, go up to this 4 hour. So from 166 to 167, basically above 164, you hit 167.23. I mean, there's no real easier way for me to show you the move, right? Mid to high compression squeeze, stack positive moving averages. I've got the 13, 21, 34. Ready and fire mid thrust firing and double green across the board. Like winner chicken dinner on Nike. But be careful of Ivy Crush, right? You don't want to get crushed out on this one. So maybe look at next week's. Bigger picture, cup and handle. Gorgeous. Nike. Algo's going to back you up on that one. All right, moving on. What did I not hit? I did AMD, Nike, AMD, CVS, Pfizer. Sweet, 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 sweet. Wait a minute, what? What are we looking at here? So AMD was fine. Nasdaq, Netflix, Zoom, Docu, Snow, Apple Coin. AMD, CVS, Pfizer. All right, hold on 1 second. So let's do this. I need to write these down or else I'm going to forget about them. How am I doing on time? Doing all right. All right, let's do this. We want to look at, we did AMD. We want to look at CVS, Pfizer, Docu, Coin, Mara, Run, FSR, Google, okay, so I am, all right, let's just run through and look at things, shall we? I'm gonna go into what I'm gonna play right after I get through doing these last couple algo looks, right? This is CVS. I believe CVS just had some earnings, right? Pretty decent move. Algo's a little bearishly diverged, except for rather than it making a lower low, it's made a higher high. So it might be reversing here. This divergence might have been played out. Right, if you see the algo, right, the algo is made a higher low. It's definitely got some previous resistance it's got to get through. Right. So if the algo can break out of its own little wedge, I think it can continue to pull price action up with it. If it breaks down, I think price might fall down with it. Currently, price is trading at, so it broke out of its wedge. See how price action broke out of its wedge? And it's trading at the algo's previous resistance zone, right there. So previous high. There is a, looks like there's a little bit of a, hold on, I'm saying it, broke it, came back up, rejected it. Okay, so there's a little bit of a zone right there that runs from 100 to 101.50, so a $1.50 zone. It's coming up into some previous resistance. It did fill the gap as far as price action is concerned, right? It broke its overhead resistance, ran into some previous resistance. Look for a possible pullback to confirm support at this, potentially this level here. Come on. Right at the $100 level, pull back and continue to move to the upside. As far as block trades are concerned, right? On the CVS. We've got, well, I'm pretty close to my drawing. So we've got a dark pool level there that runs from 99.88 to 132. So there's your dark pool levels. Whoa, what happened? You guys just can't see it, can you? So there's your dark pool levels, right? Come on. So block trades at 132 and 99.88. That, if it can break through that, those should provide support for a continued move on up. As far as CVS is concerned here, looking at it from a Kelt's perspective, right, rallied through back down to the daily top, 4-hour bottom, right, rallied back up through the 4-hour mid. This is in a very, very bullish perspective. Radiant Fire, so a little bit oversold. Look for like a slight little pullback. If it can maintain that 4-hour mid, right? If it can maintain the $120 level, it might actually move back up to about 102. Moves about $2 a day, right? $2.75 a day. Look for it to take out the highs at 102.75. Bull flag breakout. That was CVS. Pfizer's just been beast mode. Just been rallying, rally. Right off of the 4-hour daily top, up back in through, held support. It's caught in a fib range from the 382 to the top previous highs. Held up pretty decently yesterday, just riding this 4-hour. So with this trend bar being red, I would expect a pullback to the 618. Or potentially the 50% retracement, maybe even as low as this little block here, right? Somewhere in this level for a bounce more to the upside, okay? If and only if it can take out 6150, then I would look for it to play the move up to 63-ish, right? As far as the path of least resistance goes, downside move for support, larger move to the upside. Let the slingshot squeeze set up. Let the ready aim fire set up on the 15-minute chart. Right? Gather a little bit of more strength and conviction before it moves on to the upside. That's Pfizer from a technical standpoint. Pfizer from an algorithmic standpoint, right? We have bearish divergence, right? Meaning the price is way up here and the algo's down here. The algo's been steadily making higher lows up until this point. It made a lower low. Ran into some resistance. Almost Batwing, but not quite. I don't want to say Batwing simply because Moderna's, I've seen television ads for Pfizer. I've seen them all over the place in the news. I think that they're probably doing a pretty good job of marketing themselves. As far as price action or the algo is concerned, it looks like is that a broken trend? If it's broken trend, look for a pullback to some of these other levels here, right? We've got a right. It's smacked into the top there. Price action smacked into the top there. Contrarian, however, when price action hit this level, it gapped and ran, right? So do you see how the algo is trading with price up into a certain point, right? Up until about right. Trading, price continued, price fell, algo fell, up and down like a roller coaster, up until recently. So if this is bearish divergence on Pfizer, I'm going to give the algo the benefit of the doubt and see if it breaks. Right, if it breaks that trend line there and continues to the downside, I would look to target any previous lows on Pfizer. Right, currently. So any of these current lows on Pfizer is what I would look to target. So from 61 down to about 58. As far as block trades are concerned, Pfizer probably has a massive amount in the last 5 days. Let's see what we got here. Is that accurate? There's really no block trades for Pfizer in the last 5 days? I can't believe that. Hold on. Like I said, we're in beta, so data in beta may be weird. Data in beta may be weird. The data in beta may be weird. Come on, please load. Meanwhile, looks like futures are doing a job holding that 618 retrace. If I remember correctly, we had problems with Pfizer data previously. Let's see what we got here. That's interesting. Interesting. Okay, I need to note that. For now, I'm going to look at this algorithm. So it failed to make a higher high. This is probably a data glitch, or maybe a massive sell-off. Anyway, it's trading. All right, so if a Pfizer breaks 61, the downside play is to 60.75, 60.15, and finally 59.50. 48. Contrarian, if it holds support and takes out, like I said, if it takes out previous highs at 61, then we can go up and test the 63. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. One second. Okay. All right, moving on. What do we have next? Is the video still laggy? How are we doing? Whoa, what's up? All right, so for some reason I'm skipping frames. I think that's probably because I've got too much data being drawn, right? Let me get rid of some of this stuff. Let me get rid of some of this stuff. Dude, I don't like a laggy stream. What's going on here? All right. The last couple ones, and then yeah, I know. Okay, so let me clarify my statement on AMD. Okay, I appreciate all of you. I appreciate everybody coming in and letting me know, because I did need to understand what AMD is doing. But according to its current weighting, I don't think it's the statement was, is it part of the top top stocks in those? So let's just check it out. Something's really laggy right now, and I don't know what's causing it. I can't find it. I don't want you guys to lag. All right, so the statement was, is it one of the top holdings of the Qs of QQQ? And it's not at this current point. Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Tesla, Nvidia, both Googs, Facebook, Adobe, AVGO, Netflix, Cisco, Costco, Pep Boy or Pepsi, and Comcast. So that's the Qs. Just like IWM, remember I've been talking about how IWM is like the most failed potential that has, that technically looks like it could rip the most. Well, AMC is its top, well, it's probably, AMC is its top holding. CAR is its second top holding, where CAR used to be its third. All right, so let's check out the SPY. This is just the top 15 holdings, right? So these, right, Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, both Googs, Facebook, Tesla, Nvidia, JP Morgan, United Healthcare, Johnson & Johnson, Home Depot, Procter & Gamble, and Visa. So if these, like if Visa, Home Depot, United Healthcare, and Johnson & Johnson are all having great days, it might help the SPY stay up a little bit. But if Apple and Microsoft are down, right, that's going to be kind of tough. We'll go into ETF stuff later. I just want to get you guys going. I got to do a couple things real quick. I need a better PC. I'm on a Mac. Are you saying that a PC would be better for me? let me know. I'm willing. Like, I'm not married to my Mac. I'm not one of those loyalists by any means. Okay. Hold on. Sorry. Let me just get through this. All right. 1.139. I know it does because I watched it move yesterday. Legit. I was like, whoa, AMD is moving, the Qs are moving. So I'm just saying the data that I have access to is faulty. I'm not joking, right? Like, it's faulty. Which sucks because I've got a screen over here that's full of the Qs and AMD's not on it, and I'm going to be playing AMD a lot more. So what? Basically, let me back up. Let me walk this back a little bit. What I'm trying to say is the data that I have available to me and what I use as far as my tools go, I'm not seeing AMD, which is really kind of hindering me. It's hurting me because I've got an entire wall of monitors over here that are dedicated to specifically the ETF sectors, and I'm not seeing AMD in any of those charts. And I'm like, why is AMD rallying and actually holding the Qs up? So I think that this data set that I have access to is flawed, and I want to thank you for letting me know that I'm not going crazy and that I should add AMD to my sector chart. There's no way for me to take a screenshot of it, but or maybe I have one. Let me show you what my sector chart that's over here looks like real quick, and then I'm gonna. Oh, don't tell me I cleared out my trash. Maybe not. Is it in the trash? I can't show it to you because I don't have it. The next time I have it up, I'll take a screenshot of my sector stuff over here and show it to you and show you what I'm talking about. So yeah, thanks for backing me up on that and that I'm not crazy. Like I said, the data set I had access to, it just doesn't show it. But in reality, maybe that's why AMD does so well. It's a little sneaky. Okay. Checking back in on the futures real quick, I just wanted to show everybody that we've got a little bit of movement. Where before we didn't. Is it? We're getting a little bit of a pullback, which is healthy. All right. All right. So, lads, this is what I'm going to be looking at. I'm going to be looking at AMD. I'm going to be looking at Google. I'm going to be looking at... All right, let me just run through these real quick, okay? So, AMD... Right, bounced right off the daily bottoms, currently up into the daily mid. Like, I'm playing the Keltners on it, right? So if it can get above AMD above 140, or if it takes out pre-market high at 139.37, I'm going to play it up to 142, right? Possibly, yeah, I'm going to play it up to 142. The strikes that I'm looking at is going to be... I'm looking at this week's 142s at about 65-70 cents, okay? 145 call, and maybe 65 to 70. Right. So basically under... Hold on. 145 calls for, basically what they're at now, about 50 cents, okay? I'm also going to be looking at, let's look at some Facebook. So yesterday, Facebook fell off. Nice little move into the close, right? Super wick, that sucks, right? Massive wick, it held the 34. So if Facebook can break above pre-market highs at 328, I think it'll come up and test 330. Above 330, we got 332.50 on Facebook. It's pretty bullish. It's a little choppy though, so no real squeezes to help us out. As long as our trend maintains support, I need to put the 50 and 200 on here. But we've got Keltner channel resistance. We've got I'll have to get used to these, but basically the 30, the 15, and the 60. So the hourly Kelt, basically, if we can get up and above that. So Facebook on a break of 329, I'll play the 340s, right? The Facebook 330s, if we can get those for $1.50 or so, should be pretty decent. So anywhere around $1.50. All right, Nvidia. Was that a flash crash? Oh, that was a pullback to support. Yeah, Nvidia is gonna. I think it's gonna beast mode if we can get out of. If it can take out 286.50. Well, the safe move on Nvidia is Nvidia breaking above or into this weekly top at 290. The move from 290 to 300 should be pretty decent, taking profit at 295 on the way. However, you do just got to get up here above this 290. So with that being said, I like Nvidia as long as it can continue to rally today and not chop. The strikes I'm looking at on Nvidia, the 300s, right? The 300s are on sale currently at what price they're at now, right? So Nvidia 300 calls for anywhere from, about $1. Okay. And then finally, Google. Google's forming a cup and handle on the 10-minute chart. If it can get above the hourly Kelt, right, and take out this $50 candle here yesterday, right, the one that went 28.36 to 28.88, that's a $50 candle. Okay, it's got some resistance that it's at right now, right? So if Google, so boom, it took out its overhead resistance and it's forming a cup and handle. If Google, come on, sucker. I need to figure out which time frame chart works best with this system. All right, Google's forming a cup and handle. If it can take out yesterday's pre-market high at 288, right? 2900's pretty easy, pretty within reach of Google. It's coming off of a buttload of support, right? We've got the 4-hour top all the way up here at 29.25 to 29.50. The Google 2950s, right? They were on sale yesterday down here at like 50 cents. However, those 2950s anywhere, if you can get those suckers for, the current price, right? $1.50. 2950s. The current price for those is $1.06, right? And so I 22-ish. So those may open pretty high. So okay, that's what I'm looking at today. Look at Docusign real quick, and then I gotta run. All right, Docusign is getting ready to smack into some overhead resistance. Pretty significant resistance. So Docusign, I moved to 152. 50 looks decent. Then it's got to fight its way up to 155. Okay? It's got to fight its way up. No squeezes to help us out. Oversold, decreasing.